Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode. On this episode, I'm going to build this 1/72 scale Grumman F4F-4 WILDCAT. I picked this kit up a couple years ago, right around the same time I picked up my Tomahawk, and I just never got around to building it. And I've been building a lot of different things lately, and I really do love the World War II era fighter plane, so I decided I'm going to pull this one out and get it built. This is the 2015 release of this kit, which includes new tooling, and it can be posed with the wings normally out for flight or folded up for on top of an aircraft carrier. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to have them just out extended or not. We'll just see how it turns out. The original kit was from way back in the 60s, I think 1964, but it's been retooled several times since then, so I'm really interested to see how this kit comes out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I post videos about every other week. I build all kinds of models from all different genres, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get notified every time I release a new video, press the little bell icon down below and you'll get a notification. Also, if you'd like to help support my channel, please check out my Ko-fi page, where you can buy me a coffee or sign up for one of my 3 skill levels. You'll have access to a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of early information, and a lot of tips and tricks. Also, I'm going to be doing some giveaways for members of the Ko-fi site, so make sure you go check it out. Another way to help the channel would be to check out my t-shirt page. I've got several cool designs, all scale model themed, and they're all designed by me, a scale modeler. We've got t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, coffee cups, and even stickers. So be sure to head on over and check them out and pick yourself up some scale modeling swag. All proceeds from the t-shirts and the Ko-fi site go right back into the channel to help cover cost of expenses, kits, supplies, etc., and just goes to help me continue creating great content for you guys. All the links are in the description, so be sure to check them out. Alright, so let's get this kit opened up and see what's in the box. Alright, first we have the instructions. The instructions for my Tomahawk were really nice, so I'm hoping these are really nice also. So we've got some information, different languages, we've got nice, very nicely detailed instructions. They're colored. Here we have some optionals. This is for either gear down or gear up. We have some options here for a closed canopy or an open canopy, and the wings and how we're going to set those up. And then we have some really nice color painting instructions and decal layouts. So I think I might end up doing this one. Alright, here we have our canopies. I'm not going to take them out because I want to keep them safe. Looks like we have a couple of the viewport windows there. Closed canopy, open canopy. They look to be really nicely detailed. Alright, here we have in the plastic, we've got our engine cowl, front of the engine, more engine parts, the prop. These look really nice. Okay, here we have our halves of the fuselage, parts to the wings. Here's our cockpit assembly and some controls. Okay, here we have our other wing parts. These are the optional ones if the wings are folded in or not. Very nicely cleanly molded, very clean lines on these. And I'm noticing very little flash. Some very small parts for the landing gear. I don't know if I'm going to do this wheels up or wheels down. I think I'd like to do them wheels down, but we'll see. There's our pilot. It looks actually pretty well detailed. I probably won't use the pilot. I just don't typically put pilots in my builds. Alright, that's all the plastic, and here we have our decals. Decals look really nice, and the decals on my AIRFIX Tomahawk went on really well, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these go down. Alright, So there's the kit. So let me get all this cleaned up and we will get to the build. I was struggling to mask off this canopy, so I ended up just painting everything by hand. After the paint had dried, I went back with a fine toothpick and scraped off the areas where I got a little messy. I'm using my micro saw to put the recessed panel lines back in the hull after I removed them a little bit while I was sanding the seam. After adding the panel lines back in, I go over them with a little bit of Tamiya Extra Thin. This just kind of melts the plastic and cleans things up a bit. I'm pre-shading all of my panel lines and details on the hull and wings so that it'll show through my top coat. You don't have to be super neat here. I know it looks messy, but in the end it'll all come out alright. I'm applying my base coat of sky gray very lightly and in specific areas so I don't cover up all the detail that I brought out with the pre-shading. I basically just keep laying on layer after layer until I like the results. Just like I did with the sky gray, I'm adding my dark sky blue very lightly with very thin coats. Again, I just keep doing this until I'm happy with the results. Here, I'm just using a lighter shade of sky gray to just highlight some things and bring out some more detail. This is just a gloss clear coat that I'm putting over the entire plane so I can add my decals. And we're back with the 172 scale Grumman F4F-4 WILDCAT from AIRFIX. This kit was a nice break from the kits I've been doing a lot lately, and I must say that the overall kit, I give it very high marks. The molds are very well done, they're very clean, they're really crisp. There was some extra cleanup that needed to be done around the engine, but other than that, for the most part, parts were really well molded. The instructions were pretty clear and very straightforward, easy to read, easy to understand where parts went. The wings, the fuselage, all of that went together very well. The one, I would say, challenging area of this kit is assembling the landing gear. The landing gear really needs to be assembled and put together and situated as you're closing up the two parts of the hull to make it work right. And if you were doing this landing gear up, it would be a lot easier, but what's the fun in that? So the landing gear was a bit challenging, and I would say for a young modeler, that's going to be a problem for you. Not that you can't do it, it's just it's going to be a challenge. And it all fits very well in there once you get it all together. You do have to trim and clean up these areas here where the landing gear part kind of sandwiches between the two halves of the fuselage. The only other real challenging area I had with this kit was just the fact that it's a small scale and my eyes aren't what they used to be. My fingers are a little chubby, so I find it a little challenging to do some of these small parts. The canopy, I tried masking the canopy and I failed miserably. So I ended up just hand painting the canopy rails and then putting that on last, and as you saw in the build video, I stuffed the cockpit with some little pieces of foam and stuff to protect it while I was painting the rest of the plane. Painting the underside of the plane was also a challenge because you have to, all of this landing gear is detailed ahead of time. So I stuffed more foam pieces in the openings, I put some tape around it to try to keep the paint from, when I'm painting the rest of the fuselage, from getting in there and getting all over the detail on the landing gear. A little bit did slip through, but it's easy enough to go touch up after the fact. But otherwise, a real fun kit to build. I do like the options that are available on this kit, having the wings folded back, the adjustable flaps, and just a really nice little kit. So I would say this is definitely not a beginner's kit. I would say if you want to build one like this, I would say practice with some larger scale kits before you tackle one like this, or just understand going into it that these are going to be a little bit challenging. For the paint scheme on this kit, I went with the one that fits the Enterprise aircraft carrier for the markings, and also I looked up a lot of images online of wildcats in the wild, and during wartime they were not pretty looking. So I wanted to go with a not pretty looking version of this, and I think I've accomplished that, and I really like how it came out. It definitely reflects a plane that has been used on a daily basis and been in a lot of conflict and just overall well used. So if you're in the market for one of these kits, I highly suggest this kit. Very well done, very nice kit to build. So that's going to wrap up this episode of my Grumman F4F-4 WILDCAT build by AIRFIX. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. I love to hear from you guys. Have you built this kit? Have you built other 172 kits from AIRFIX? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below. If you have any questions, also let me know. Be sure to check out my Ko-fi page and also check out my t-shirt links down below, where you can also get some cool stickers like the one in the back and some mugs. And to all my current subscribers, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel and tuning in. For anyone out there who hasn't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and I would really appreciate it. All right, so until next time, friends, be safe out there and go build something.